Welcome to Life Planning 101, brought to you by Kennedy Financial Services of Eastland. Tune in every Monday morning at 8:30 on KATX and again on Saturday morning at 9 on KATX and KWBY as Angela Robinson joins Terry Slavens to share important financial information to help you live life on purpose. Insurance, investments, estate and tax planning, and much more. All covered now on Life Planning 101.
And welcome back in. It's Life Planning 101 here on this Monday morning. Angela Kennedy Robinson with us. And Angela, you have a special guest on the line.
We do, and we are so excited this morning. I tell you what, here we are. Okay, so we're a few weeks out from what we all know as Black Friday. We're going to be shopping with Christmas and everything else. And, we got a lot of response last year about credit and, not necessarily ruining your credit during this time of year. And I thought, how appropriate would it be that we get someone on here that really knows the intricacies of the way credit works? And this gentleman has a great story. He actually founded a business based on his own personal experiences. And today he is recognized by Bankrate, Washington Post, MSN, New York Times, Los Angeles Times, Newsday. I could go on and on about all the accreditation that he has backing him. And we are so blessed to be able to have him as part of our show and for him to be able to give you this information. His business is called 7 Steps to a 720, and Mr. Philip Tirone is with us this morning. Thank you so much, Mr. Tirone, and why don't you just share a little bit of your story and why you actually need good credit, what the importance is.
Hey, Angela, great to be here, and I'm excited to just share information about what I've learned. And Angela, here's the thing. The reason why I actually ended up writing this book and creating 720creditscore.com is really simple, because I had bad credit. I didn't even realize it. See, I pay my bills on time. I think everything's fine. I just never dreamed that I had bad credit until I went to a bank one day, and the lady told me I was overdrawn on my checking account. She asked me if I want to apply for overdraft protection. I said, sure. She's like, we have to run your credit report. I'm like, oh, no problem. I have nothing really bad on my credit report. And one thing led to another, and I was denied for the overdraft protection line, which got me thinking and realizing, looking at my car loans and my home loans and realizing that if you don't understand the rules of the game, you get manipulated by the banks. And the manipulation can be as little as $50 a month, but it could also be hundreds and hundreds of dollars per month. And that's what I share. That's what this is about.
Wow. We recently had a client, and it just blew my mind. We actually got her talking about your program and everything else, because she's making over $500,000 a year, and she went to go lease a vehicle. It's the first time she hadn't paid cash for a vehicle. She wanted to lease a vehicle, and she couldn't do it because she had bad credit. Making over $500,000 a year. And people don't even realize, why do you need credit? I mean, if I have money, I don't need credit. If I'm retired, I don't need credit. Well, that just simply isn't true in today's world, because we live in a different time, which I think is crazy.
Well, consider this, and these stats come from MyFICO, the leading credit scoring provider for cars and homes and different things like that. If you have a 720 credit score, if you're going to go buy a car today or lease a car, and you have a 720 credit score, your interest rate is going to be around 3%. If you have a 659 credit score, your grade jumps from 3% to 10.44%.
Wow.
Okay? If you have a 500 or a 550 credit score, forget it. That's going to be like a 25% rate.
Oh, my goodness.
And what that means is literally, a 10.44% rate on a $20,000 car is about $80 a month extra.
Wow.
Okay, $80 every single month. At 25%, you're talking $200 a month extra. This is, and the point here, the reason why I bring that up is no one thinks that a 659 credit score is a bad credit score. If you spoke to 1,000 of your clients and you said, is 659 credit score bad credit score? Most people would say it's not a bad credit score, it's just not a great credit score. It's fine. But you would literally overpay, about $1,000 a year on that car for the same exact car. If you had the same income, the same everything, you're overpaying $1,000 a year. Imagine how that compounds over 20 years of people not knowing, Angela. I mean, you're in the financial business. You know that.
That's right. I remember when I first listened to your tapes many years ago and learning about that, it was I think you called it the 6-figure impact in your life, and it was your credit score, and it really, over your lifetime, if you add up your mortgage, you add up your house, you add everything that you'd have to take credit and use interest for, it's unbelievable when you start adding up those numbers and what it could mean to you. That's crazy.
Well, what's a shame about the whole thing is the way the scores are manipulated, okay? So let me just throw some things out because I still can't get over it. According to a Federal Reserve Board study, 46% of the credit cards that the consumers of America have in their wallet, 46% have a negative impact on your credit score. Okay?
Wow.
Negative impact on the credit score. And the reason why is because they don't report to profit bureaus, they don't report to all the bureaus, or they don't report the proper credit limits to the bureaus. Okay? And if you don't report the proper credit limits to the bureaus, guess what? If you put $5 on that credit card, it's going to look like you're maxed out. 46% of the time this is happening. Okay? For 60 Minutes did a report, about a year and a half ago. 40 million Americans have an error on their credit report, and try getting that fixed. When you try to fix it, what they do is they send it to a service center in South America. The person investigating error doesn't even have a phone on their desk.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, but here's the problem. The problem is this, it's who pays credit bureaus? Right? I don't want to create this conspiracy theory out there, but you got to look at the fact. You got to see where the water flows, right, or where the money flows. Who pays credit bureaus? Banks pay credit bureaus.
Yeah,
they pay to pull credit reports. That's their primary income, right? They're amalgamating all this data, and the banks are buying their data.
That's right.
And so the problem is when you have an error on the credit report, when you have an error on your credit report and you go apply for a loan, just like that car loan where your rate goes from 3% to 10.44%, at $80 a month that you're paying an extra interest, what does that do? That adds to the profitability of the bank.
Well, with that,
this, right?
Philip, yeah, and I'm going to stop you right there. We've got to take a quick break, but I do want to, we've got a Twitter poll out there, and I think this is a perfect time to present it. At KFS Life Planning, tweet us. We want to know, when was the last time that you actually checked your credit report, not your score, credit report, to see if you had any errors? When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about this, and we're going to talk about why you might just need credit cards on the flip side of all this.
And welcome back in Life Planning 101 here on KUTX KWBY. Great information. Angela, you have your special guest.
Yes, and I think we're all learning something, aren't we?
I'm learning something.
This is unbelievable. No, this is great. We have Mr. Philip Tirone of 720creditscore.com talking to us about why credit is important, how it's calculated, the messy way that it's calculated. And I guess when you get into any type of bureau, complication is their key element. I think they put that as their vision, their goal, if their whole organization. But we're talking about that, talking about how it affects your whole life, not just what the here and the now and what you think it's affecting, and then really what makes up all of this. And then at the end of the show, of course, we're going to have some great information. But before we left, we had a Twitter poll. I want you to answer at KFS Life Planning. We want to know, when was the last time that you checked your credit report, not your score, your credit report? Let us know. Big deal. So, Mr. Tirone, why is that a big deal?
Well, I mean, if you're not checking your report and more specifically your score, you don't know how you're going to be judged, right? I mean, a lot of people think if you pay your bills on time and you've never been late on a bill, you're going to have a great credit report. We just know that that's not to be true.
And that's weird. You think, I mean, if you do things the honest way, the good old boy way, shouldn't it be right?
Well, the big misconception I hear over and over is, I have a perfectly clean credit report. Why don't I have a high credit score? Because you're not playing the game. You need absolutely at a minimum of 3 credit cards.
Wow.
And an installment loan to play the game correctly. Now, this doesn't mean you're going to charge them up It doesn't mean you're going to max them out. It doesn't mean you're going to carry any debt. It doesn't mean you're going to pay a dime in interest. But the problem with our credit bureaus is they look at having no credit just as bad as having bad credit. So that's why it's important. It's absolutely critical that you have the credit being recorded at the bureaus so it can uplift your score. And one thing I want to point out, Angela, the goal is not to get a 720 credit score. Yes, our website, 720creditscore.com, that's the name of the company and the name of our program. But the goal, we know that you're going to have an error on your credit report. We know things are going to go bad with regards to your credit report. And when an error comes on, or when something fabricated is put on your credit report accidentally, we just never wanted to drop below 720.
Wow, yeah. And that's really big. Yeah, I think I remember back those days, my biggest aha when I was listening to all that was, wow, I can't believe you really need to have credit cards. That really goes against the grain of what most people believe. And especially, we live in a world of Dave Ramsey, no debt, right? And so, and so people, they get themselves in a bind. And I've seen this all the time as an advisor. If people have had a hard time, and we know there's two types of people. There's people that like to really save, and there's people that like to spend. And if you're one of those spenders and you're trying to get on track, credit cards seem to be very evil, and you almost just want to stuff them in a drawer. And I think that was the biggest aha moment for me, was realizing, oh my gosh, you can't do that, because that's going to kill you credit wise. In fact, you've got to have a balance. There is no such thing as not using credit and having a good credit score. That was unbelievable.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And the thing is I hear it all the time. We have tens of thousands of people every year who go through bankruptcy or foreclosure and then call us up and say, hey, I want to rebuild my credit score, right? And you could imagine why, right? These people think that their bankruptcy is going to be on their credit report for 10 years. And the truth of the matter is it will. But we can get someone from a bankruptcy today and a foreclosure today to a 720 credit score in about 12 to 24 months, 24 months on the high side, assuming they're not doing what we tell them to do. But is as quick as 12 months after bankruptcy foreclosure.
Is incredible.
And the thing is, I do that all the time. Well, I just don't want credit. Well, okay, great. You don't want credit, but then you're going to overpay in your car and your home and your car insurance and things like that. What I say is, okay, great. Get a $200 line of credit card, $200 or $100 line of credit. Put your cable bill on it every month and have it automatically paid from your checking account. Don't carry around the card. Like, I'm allergic to debt. I don't want to tell people to carry debt or pay any interest. That's not what I'm saying. But you must play the game according to the rules, or else you're going to pay. And I mean pay big.
Right.
Hundreds and hundreds of dollars of wasted money every month simply because you don't understand the rules, which is what we're trying to deconstruct here.
Yeah, it's just unbelievable. I can't get over the amount of money that actually bad credit can cost you. And I think, a lot of people don't even realize, especially homeowners. This is where, and we have a ton of students, they're getting out of school, they're wanting to get their loans in order. They're wanting to take care of things. And how do they do that? And how do they set out on the right track? And I was just running some numbers, because here I'm the geek, okay? And I was saying, okay, what was the difference between 2 percentage points? Because that's what you were kind of talking about, a 3% loan and a 5% loan on a home loan. And it's like $300 a month. $300 a month. So if you had $300 a month over a 30-year loan, that's $108,000. Oh my gosh. That adds up quick. So there is no such thing as not needing credit. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Mr. Tirone is going to talk to us about his awesome website that he has, and particularly aimed at students in some areas, which I think is, in today's world, really something we need to be addressing.
Final segment of Life Planning 101 right here on KTX. Angela Robinson, take it away.
Again, Mr. Tirone, thank you so much for being on the show with us this morning, talking about the importance of a good credit score, how complicated all this is for them to calculate it, and what it means to your entire life, and how important it is. And I want to spend these last few minutes that we have on the show talking about your website and the value that's on there. It is mind-blowing, and it's something not only for yourself, but something you should be sharing with every family member you have, especially your young family members that are getting started on life. I mean, can you imagine if you made a 6-figure impact in their life just by introducing them to 720creditscore.com? So, Mr. Tirone, I'm going to let you take it from here and tell us what you've got going on that website and how people can utilize it.
Well, I mean, there's abundance of free information at 720creditscore.com that you can check out and read about and stuff like that. Our flagship product is called 7 Steps to a 720 Credit Score. And I've had this for like 16 years, right? I mean, with constant updates. And I used to have it where, you'd get the book and the workbook and the guidebook and all that stuff. And then I realized no one reads books on credit repair. It's boring, right? So I
can't imagine why.
The book and the workbook and the guidebook into 13 simple lessons. And the lessons range from 5 to 11 minutes. And they're videos. And the way I have it designed, it's an online course where if anyone that signs up, they get 1 email per week. And the email says, watch lesson 1. And then they watch lesson 1. At the end of the video, they do 1 or 2 action items, and then they wait for the next week. And I did this because it's important that we understand the rules of the game so you can benefit from it. The biggest problem I had with this program is that there's still some times where it's hard to implement the steps, and I just want to make it easier. So just recently, we're talking in the last 60 days, we partner with Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, right? This is a federal credit union that works for, that can lend to anyone that has a Social Security number. So anyone in America, in Guam and Hawaii and all that stuff, right?
Great.
Puerto Rico. And what they have done is they have decided, instead of people paying up front for our program, they will finance the program over 12 months. Okay? And the best part about it is when you pay Notre Dame every month for our program, it's $57 a month for 12 months. Every month, it's reported to the credit bureaus as an installment loan. Okay?
So it helps the credit. Very smart.
Exactly. It helps rebuild the credit. Now, here's the best part about it. Part of people with poor credit, sometimes they can't get the right credit cards, so they need to get secured loans, right? Now, to get a secured credit card, you need to put money in the bank. Mm-hmm. So the way we structure this is you pay 12 payments of $57.09. And after 12 on-time payments, Notre Dame actually gives back $250 to the consumer in their bank account, right?
That's a heck of a deal.
So you can get that secured card right away. So my goal here is anyone who enrolls in our program, and you can check out the application at 720loan.com, www.720loan.com, LOAN.com. You go to 720loan.com, you fill out the application. I've negotiated with Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, and if you don't have to fill out the application perfectly, they're going to call you afterwards and make sure if you have any questions. Everyone gets approved. Everyone gets approved. You pay 12 payments of $57. You get enrolled into our credit program for 12 months, so you can learn everything you need to know about how to rebuild your credit. And then at the end of 12 months, you get that $250 in cash back to you for you to use as cash or put towards a secured credit card. And that's what we're offering now. And I got to tell you, it's just made the credit improvement process so much easier for my clients.
Oh, yeah. And that, what's amazing about all this is I always say that the missing component in our education system is finances, right? We get out of school and we have no idea what we should be doing. And, everybody in the world is paying too much in taxes that I've met in the last 2 months. So they think this is their biggest hiccup. And, there's little hidden things, gems just like this that are in your life that, are just as big as your taxes. I mean, Uncle Sam, pay him $100,000. pay extra to your bank $100,000. That's a big savings. So, that's huge. And I think, again, that is the greatest gift that you can give someone in your family, is helping them set out on the right track with financial knowledge. So they make these good decisions going forward. I tell you what, it was one of the best things that I have done is going through your program, Mr. Tirone, for my own sake. So we really appreciate you being on the show today. Again, don't miss, go to his website, 720creditscore.com and 720loan.com. Did I get that right?
Yeah, 720 Credit Score is to read about the information, read about our blog. If you want information, if you want to apply for that program with Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, it's 720loan.com.
720loan.com. So thanks again, Mr. Tirone. Really appreciate you being on the show. Tons of great information, and we wish everyone a great week. Again, my name is Angela Robinson with Kennedy Financial Services here in the great town of Eastland, Texas. God bless, and God bless America. Prayers for America at this time.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for joining us for Life Planning 101, brought to you by Kennedy Financial Services of Eastland. Tune in every Monday morning at 8:30 on KATX and again on Saturday morning at 9 o'clock on KATX and KWBY for more Life Planning 101.
Advisory services offered through Smart Money Group, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through Calton & Associates Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Kennedy Financial Services Incorporated is an independent of Calton & Associates Incorporated and Smart Money Group, LLC.